Hi, Mark Allen again here from Golf Lesson Sheffield. Just want to show you my 3 keys to consistent chip shots. Got 2 great players here, Steve Stricker and Luke Donald, to highlight the areas that we're going to discuss. And the first one I want to show is just how narrow both of their stances are. The reason for that is that these shots are not power shots, they're finesse shots, so we don't want to be getting an overly driving our legs through the ball to generate power, so it's all about stability. And the narrower we've got our stance, the less chance we've got of moving our head backwards and forwards, or side to side as it would be as we're looking from here. And that'll help to get the correct contact on the ball. So if one thing that we take away from this, I see this a lot during my lessons, people setting up for little chip shots but with the same width stance as a normal full shot. We now need to start to narrow the stance down, and that'll help us to get a more consistent strike. Then, as we take the swing forward with Steve Stricker, if I start to zoom in here, you should be able to see, if I zoom in on his impact position, you'll be able to see just how much the club comes down through the ball. So he's not trying to lift this ball up in the air, he's actually striking down and through the ball. You can see just how low his club head is just after impact. He's striking down and through the ball first, ground afterwards. And the ball is getting plenty of elevation, he's not trying to lift that ball up in the air. Again, if we look at Luke Donald here, as we follow him through, same shot, similar sort of length of shot, I presume it's similar sort of camera angle. But we can certainly see here how, again, through impact, Luke Donald's club is coming from a high point, and look at how low his club head is just after impact, and look at how high the ball's going. So he's letting all the loft do the work for him. There's no need to try to lift the ball up in the air, and generally the way most club golfers play this sort of shot is to try to lift the ball up in the air, and in doing so we tend to create a thin shot and the ball just scuttles through the back of the green. And the final part I want to just point out is, if you notice, if we take Steve Stricker back to the beginning again, if you notice his wrists are not breaking whatsoever. He's keeping everything. He's keeping the triangle that's formed between his shoulders and his arms. This triangle shape is staying pretty much the same all the way throughout this swing. You just notice, if I delete that, and you'll watch there, that the relationship between his arms and his body stays pretty much the same. It comes back into impact pretty much as it was at address, and then he just turns his body through. So he's not trying to manipulate it with his hands, it's all done with the body turn. Again, if we look at Luke Donald here, so as he rotates back, his body's just done all the turning, very little wrist hinge, and then he's rotating his body round and through the ball. His chest is now facing the target. And you'll notice as both players are finished, the club is pointing to about their belly button, their stomach area, and that's a sign that their body's rotated round and through. So next time you're out on the chipping green, narrow your stance down so you're not going to get too much lateral weight shift. You're going to make sure you strike down and through the ball instead of trying to scoop the ball up in the air, and you're going to use your body to turn the club through, so no manipulation with the hands.